We recommend before beginning any new exercise program that you get medically cleared. If, when beginning this exercise program, you should feel any weakness, lightheadedness, or pain, you need to stop immediately and consult your physician. These exercises will be targeting the lower body. We want to keep your lower body healthy. They will be incorporating balance, flexibility, and strength. Alignment will be key in making these exercises most effective. You're going to perform these exercises until you lose the form or the alignment that we have talked about. When you do lose that form or alignment, take a rest and then regroup and try the exercise again if you feel like you need that challenge.
Squat progression. For the beginner squat, you're going to use a chair, or as an alternate, you can hold on to a countertop or a sink. Your feet will be about hip width apart, pointed straight ahead. For alignment purposes, you also want to keep your knees pointed straight ahead, not dropping in towards each other. Hold on to the back of the chair with your hands. You're going to drop down as far as you can into a squat, bringing your sit bones down towards the floor. Then press straight back up, straightening the knees and hips. Repeat, lowering a little bit further each time if you can, working on the range of motion through your hips, knees, and ankles. Squat, arms forward. Feet hip width apart, knees pointed straight over your first or second toe. Going to drop down into a squat as you reach your arms forward. Working on your range of motion, you want to try to drop deeper into a squat with each repetition. Pay special attention to alignment of the knee pointed straight over the first or second toe. For a more advanced version, squat, arms will reach overhead, lengthening the spine. Continue dropping down into a squat, reaching your sit bones down towards the floor. Paying special attention to alignment, knees pointed straight over the first or second toe. Vertical squat modification. Beginning with your feet flat on the floor, you will again drop into a squat. This time as you lower, the heels will lift and you will rest your body weight on the balls of your feet. As you push back to a standing position, the heels lower back to the ground and you straighten your hips and knees. Again, dropping down, sit bones reaching towards the floor as the heels lift. Standing back up, heels press back into the ground as you come upright. Roll downs. For spinal mobility, we will begin by dropping your chin down towards your chest, then peeling your spine away from an imaginary wall behind you, thinking of moving one vertebrae at a time, arching your back into a forward bend. Reach your hands to the floor as you're able. Take a deep breath in, and as you return to standing, exhale, restacking your spine. Feeling the low back, mid back, and upper back straighten before resting the head atop the shoulders. Repeat, chin drops to the chest, and again peeling down one vertebrae at a time. Restack the spine, feeling movement between each section, low back, mid back, neck and head. Side lunge stretch. For increased hip mobility, we're going to work with your feet wide in a stance. You'll lean to the side as you bend your right knee, feeling the stretch in the left inner thigh. Back to standing, then switch to the left, feeling the stretch in the right inner thigh. Continue alternating right to left. You can increase the speed of your stretch for an added challenge. Front lunge stretch. This stretch will target your hip flexor and your quadricep muscle. You'll begin in standing, step back with the right foot, landing on the ball of the foot. You'll lower the knee, keeping your trunk upright, and feel a pressure of your pelvis or right hip pushing forward to increase the stretch. Come back to standing and repeat on the left, stepping back onto the ball of the foot, lowering the knee, and pressing the pelvis forward to feel the stretch. Continue alternating right and left. Keeping the trunk upright throughout the movement. Front lunge stretch modification. For a modification to assist with balance and stability in the front lunge stretch, you can hold on to a chair, desk, or countertop. Step back with one foot landing on the ball of the foot, lower into the lunge stretch, and hold. Come back to standing, repeat with the other side, lower, hold, and come back upright. Be sure to pay special attention to keeping your trunk straight and knee pointed straight ahead over the foot. Plank to lunge. From a quadruped position, you will straighten one leg at a time below you. Hands will be directly underneath the shoulders. You're going to reach your right foot forward, landing on the outside of your right hand. Hold for a stretch, then repeat on the left. As you go along, try to reach the foot further forward with each repetition until you can get it to land just outside of your hand. Kneeling quad stretch. From a kneeling position with your toes tucked under your foot, you'll reach back with your hands, reaching for your heels, pressing your pelvis forward, arching your back up and away from your heels. You can drop your sit bones back towards your heels for a rest position, and then press back up into the stretch. Kneeling quad stretch modification. If it's difficult to reach your heels with the kneeling quad stretch, you can use a chair for assistance. Reach back behind you for the arms or seat of the chair, then press your pelvis forward and arch your back to feel the stretch along the front of your thigh. Again, you can rest by dropping your sit bones back towards your heels, then pressing back up into the stretch. Clamshell knee lift. In a side-lying position, your hips and knees will be bent so that your heels are in line with your sit bones. Going to lengthen your upper side, feeling your lower side slightly lift from the floor below you. This will ensure that you don't use your back, but instead target the hip muscles that are the focus for this exercise. From this position, you'll lift the top knee towards the ceiling. The heel will stay connected to the opposite foot. Repeat lifting the knee up, progressively higher as you're able, but without allowing the pelvis or trunk to rotate back. Your trunk should remain still, and your pelvis should remain stacked throughout the exercise. Be sure to perform this exercise on both sides for an equal demand to both hips. Clamshell horizontal leg lift. From a side-lying clamshell position, lower side lifts slightly from the mat, feeling your lower waistline lift away. The upper waistline lengthens. You're going to lift the upper leg directly above the lower leg, lifting both the knee and foot so that the shin remains horizontal to the floor. You should feel the work for this exercise in the hip of the top leg. This exercise should be performed on both sides equally. Clamshell, knee tap, toe tap. From starting clamshell position, lift the lower side or waist slightly from the floor to lengthen the upper side. You will begin by lifting the top knee from the lower knee, then lifting the heel from the lower heel. Lower the top knee, then lower the heel. Lower the knee and lower the heel, alternating up and down with the top leg. You should feel this work with your hip muscles rotating your leg up and down. Pay special attention to keeping the pelvis still and maintaining the length through the upper trunk throughout the exercise. This should be performed with equal repetitions on both sides. Lunge, step forward and back. In a standing position, you will grab a hiking pole, ski pole, or dowel to hold behind your back. This helps maintain proper alignment and an upright posture. You should feel the pole making contact with the back of your head, your mid-back, and your tailbone throughout the entire exercise. You'll begin by taking a step back into a lunge position, landing on the ball of your feet. Drop your back knee towards the floor, then lift back up to standing, stepping all the way through to a front lunge. Repeat back and forward. For an added challenge, try not to let your foot touch the ground as you transition it from behind your body to in front of your body. Make sure that your hiking pole or dowel remains in contact with your trunk throughout the exercise. This exercise should be completed with equal repetitions on both sides. Standing balance progression. To challenge your balance, strength, and stability of your lower body, we're going to begin by standing on one leg, bringing your knee up towards your chest. A gentle hug of your knee to your chest, then you will release it as it reaches back and you tap your toe to the floor behind you. Come back into standing on one leg, lift the knee to chest, slight pull, and repeat, reaching the foot back behind you, arms reaching forward. You want to maintain a straight trunk as you reach, folding the hip as you stretch. This should be repeated with an equal number of repetitions on each side. Balance progression to airplane added challenge. From standing on one leg position, you will reach your knee up towards your chest, grasping it with your hands and pulling into a stretch. You will then fold forward at your hip joint, reach your foot back behind your body as your arms reach forward. Hold your balance position, then return to upright, bringing the knee back up towards your chest for a slight tug into a stretch. Repeat, lengthening your arms away from your foot and maintaining a level trunk. This exercise should be performed with equal repetitions on each side.